If another example is like Monica and Steven, where A, she's not perfect, and B, Steven, the way he behaved, it was not to hurt her, then get over it and that's it. Yeah, fine. I think she was right to break up with him. If he wasn't her type, he messed up way too early in the relationship. That was that, and they weren't compatible sexually and everything. That was fine. And it should have
Yeah.
been that. It should have been fine. We broke up. We're not meant to be together, and that be that. Not a year later, still go over it and still bash over it and things like that. It's just no, it's not worth it.
It's true. I think they're also not they're way too different, Monica
Yeah.
and Steven. I think he put his foot in his mouth and he did dumb shit, but she also she's like way too she's
Nitpicky.
like taking it. Yeah, she's like, I don't know. I don't even know how to express it. She's like this
Mm.
person where you just like with these death glares and I'm like scared to even like approach her. It's like she just has this ugh,
Yeah.
scary vibe to her. And I think she also like throughout the show, she was very harsh on him all the time. And she was also, there was even one point that she goes, I think he's scared of me. And I think she enjoyed that. She
Yeah.
loved it that he was like fearful of her and he had to think of every single reaction and he had to, always suck up to her to be on her good graces. And that's not a healthy relationship dynamic at all. And I think it was like also sort of a self fulfilling prophecy
Preservation.
of
Yeah.
like
Oh, right.
she was kind of constantly pushing him away, constantly making him feel bad, and he was like sort of, I guess, trying to find that validation elsewhere because he was constantly giving her
Yeah.
validation. He was constantly sucking up to her and being nice to her and showing her love, and she was and even with all that, she still had a lot of criticism towards him, and she was constantly trying to get him to like
Fit in
say the
his
most
mold. Yeah.
like, yeah, you have to give me flowers and you have to do this and do that. But then she's giving him I don't know, maybe I missed it, but like I couldn't see anything that she gave him in return. And she was just being harsh on him all the time. And so what was my point?
They weren't meant to be together. She was harsh.
Yeah, I think it's just way too no.
Yeah. Yep.
It just
But
didn't. Oh, so from the self-fulfilling prophecy part, like it was kind of you. He just was desperate for that attention that he wasn't getting from her. Not that it is a good excuse, not that it's a reason to cheat or to talk with other women online, but it was, the whole thing over there. And he was right. He couldn't say anything that would clear his name because no one wanted to hear it. Everyone just wanted to see him as the
see the
bad
message.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
and
if you can if you
go ahead.
compare them to Taylor and Garrett, where they had comparable situations, not the same, but comparable where,
Yeah,
one was messaging a girl and the other kind of came across it. One was a complete huge blowout reaction of just like, I'm
yeah,
going to attack you. Whereas the other was just like, we need to talk about it. And eventually Taylor's softness kind of allowed for the situation to open up, accidentally or not, whatever. But the fact that Taylor was so soft and vulnerable with it and just like non-aggressive
yeah,
gave Gareth the room to kind of really address the situation further down the line and talk about it off camera and things like that. Whereas Monica was so aggressive and so gun ho that it's just, you're gonna protect yourself by attacking back, however clumsy that is. It's just human nature. Like, the best defense is a good offense of just,
yeah.
you fight fire with fire, however unjustifiable that is.
Yeah, I think also Garrett and Taylor have like a much healthier relationship. They're both more mature and they both addressed the whole situation with a bit more maturity because they have such a stable
Yeah.
relationship and because they communicated so well. Because he didn't have this whole conversation and kink sharing with this woman that he was talking with online. I don't know what happened. I think he said he responded once or whatever. But it on his side, it didn't turn into the whole thing it did with Stephen. And then on her side, she didn't react the way Monica did because they have better communication.
Yeah,
And the
I
whole
agree.
situation was well
It's
um
a self-fulfilling prophecy.
yeah,
It's just,
it is.
it's not it's not Monica being harsh with Stephen and so him lying about it. That's that's the whole situation. It's the throughout their relationship, Monica was nitpicking and throwing stones and being harsh and critical and and things like that. And then justifying like, look, I was I was happy to pay for you when you were out of work and things like that. It's the
Yeah,
whole thing that leads up to something like that. Somebody doesn't cheat because, one he feels unloved or she feels unloved for a week. It's, somebody cheats because of weeks and weeks of just feeling
yeah,
lonely, feeling unwanted, things like that. It's never a good, it's crossing the line and it's never, never excusable, but justifiable, or I don't know how to say it, but it rarely happens out of the blue. Sometimes it does, but rarely it doesn't just happen out of the blue. It's just bad behavior is the result of a long time coming.
yeah. Yeah, and I think those two just weren't right for each other and they brought out the
Yeah.
worst in one another. So,
Yeah. Sorry. I keep sneezing.
oh, look at the light if
So I'm
there is a
trying to
light.
do. Last time this happened, it was the exact same grey sky of no sun.
Yeah,
Anyway,
but don't you have like a light bulb to look at?
yeah, but it's this kind of faded light bulb,
Oh,
of
yeah,
ambiance lighting.
yeah, well,
Um. Anyway, they announced new season of Love is Blind in
yeah.
February. So yay. We've got loads of
Yay.
episodes coming up. Uh, up until then, by the time we start recording about Love is Blind again, I will be a mother.
Oh, that's so strange to think about. That is so crazy.
It is crazy.
Well,
It is.
maybe your baby could be our next guest on the podcast.
He can be. Maybe he can be.
I
I
mean,
don't
he
know
already
how.
is.
He
He's
already
like
is
right
kind of
there.
here. He's
Yeah.
active. I was thinking about raising a boy yesterday, or I mean, every day since I've, learnt that he was a boy. But I'm kind of like, yesterday, really deep thinking about it. I was just like, I want him to be this strong, dependable person, but I also want
Mm-hmm.
him to be in touch with his feelings. Like, I never want to. I know I will never say big boys don't cry. Um,
Yeah.
and I will lose my mind if I hear anybody say big boys don't cry, as
Yeah.
opposed to girls are allowed to cry. I was just like,
Yeah.
and I want to be, I want to have, I want my son to, yeah, to be strong, and because I think it's gonna be tough for the next generation of men. I
It
think,
is.
from, if you all the toxic masculinity, blah, the stuff. And then what we were saying today about some men being, have being overcorrecting too much, and then things like that. I think it's going to be tough to navigate for future generations of men. And I was like, I need I want my little boy to become a good man, and it's
Well,
tough.
in Yiddish we say mensch. Want him to be a mensch,
And
which is like
okay,
basically like a Yiddish way of saying a gentleman, but like a good person who cares about other people, who treats women right, and who's dependable and yeah, and still in touch with his emotions.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just being a good human being. I think it's going to be tough for the next generation of men. So yeah, so I was just really thinking about that yesterday, and just, I
Yeah.
definitely don't want him to be a Ramses, but he's got good examples with, his
Yeah.
he's got good uncles, a good solid father, good grandparents.
I
So we'll see.
just saw a video yesterday. What was I can't remember the name of the guy who was talking, but he said there's this one moment in his life that he just can't forget where he was like a young boy and they were going to McDonald's and he held the door open for this woman. And for the next 2 weeks, his mother kept praising him about it. And he said that her making him feel good about doing something good for someone else is what helped him become a better person and be a good
Mm,
person because he understood that, you know, he made that, yeah. Anyway, yeah. So
yeah,
I thought
yeah.
that was nice. Like
She,
when someone does something good and you make him feel good about it.
yeah, exactly. Rewarding good behavior type of thing.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're off. We're gonna go to the cinema right now.
Yeah.
I think
Nice.
so.
Enjoy.
Thank you. We're gonna see The Wild Robot. I don't know if
I
you've.
have no idea.
Yeah, it's like aimed at 10-year-olds, but a bunch of our friends have seen it and they're like, it's amazing. You need to go and see it. So we're gonna
Oh,
go.
nice. It's like Inside Out. I went to watch Inside Out with my
Exactly.
with my sisters and nieces, and it was amazing. I think we enjoyed it more. So,
Yeah, Inside Out. The second one is so good. The first one is amazing as well,
oh,
but
yeah, I cried. I almost cried. Well, got emotional.
anyway, everyone let
Anyway,
us know what you thought. We're gonna be this is the last episode about Love is Blind for 2024.
yeah,
We've got recorded episodes about other topics. We need to find some time to record the new jingle. Actually, let's make time for that this week or next week of just recording the new
yeah, let's
jingle.
do that. Yeah,
Um, so I'll just kind of need to redo some of the videos, but that doesn't matter.
yeah, sounds good.
Bye everyone.
Bye bye.